Welcome to Sports with me, Adam Noel. The New Mexico United had a very wet and wild game at Isotopes Park last night, ending in a 2-2 draw with Austin Bold. Welcome to Sports with me, Adam Noel. We start tonight in baseball as the Isotopes look to snap a 5-game losing streak, taking on Reno in Game 4 of their 5-game series.
He's not Carson, that's Adam Noel, ladies and gentlemen, and he gets to run things with me today.
Thanks, Ethan. Super excited to be here today, and what's probably better than the busiest month of ASU sports all year? We have basketball, baseball, softball, hockey, you name it. Adam Noel here with the Student Report, and joining me today is former Lobo and former NBA star Kenny Thomas. Kenny, thank you so much for being here today. I'm just going to ask you a couple questions about your time at UNM and then in the pros.
I know she throws a lot of head kicks, so I just need to have my hands up and ready for whatever she brings.
Brenda Boom Boom Gonzalez is coming off a win in October, and she's excited to make it 2 in a row. But she's even more excited because she feels healthier than she has in years.
You know, I had some back issues going on, and it's been bothering me for a good 10, 12 years.
And it looked good early, as in the top of the first, Drew Weeks would get his squad on the board. An RBI double to left made a 1-0 ball game. But not done yet. Drew Butera would knock in Weeks with a double of his own. The Topes took a 4-0 lead in the first, but as of now, they trail 6-4 in the 5th inning. They will wrap up their series with the Aces tomorrow at 2:05 p.m. Out of Houston, as the Astros look to sweep Seattle, Alex Bregman went 2 for 4 on the plate today, and he would account for 2 of the Astros' runs in this one. As you see here, Carlos Correa sneaked him in. Houston goes on to take it 3-1. The final, Bregman, by the way, holds a .267 batting average. Now to the diamond, as Isotopes outfielder Sam Hilliard hit a season-high note last night. Hilliard is now the second Isotope to ever hit 20 home runs and have 20 stolen bases in a season. Hilliard joins the ranks of Jock Peterson as the only other player to hit that mark. Hilliard currently has 28 home runs and 20 stolen bases on the year. He, along with the Topes, will be in action tonight at 6:05 p.m. in Nashville.
Adam Noel is here, and you don't want to miss what he has to say about quarterback Manny Wilkins.
While rumors continue to swirl as to where receiver N'Keal Harry will land in the 2019 NFL Draft, one question has to come to mind for ASU football fans. What will become of former Sun Devil quarterback Manny Wilkins, who spent the last 3 seasons setting Harry up for most of those highlight plays? The biggest takeaway had to be the fact that ASU was able to compete with number 4 Washington, a really tough team just overall. And coming off a weekend where they faced the top team in the nation, UCLA, in the previous week, it's been a really tough stretch for ASU softball. They've lost 9 in a row. As you mentioned, 3 straight series dropped. But they were able to get on the board in Game 1. They lost 8-4, which in retrospect isn't too bad, especially with how talented Washington is in general. And by the series finale, they did drop it 6-0, another shutout. But against a good team like Washington, the bats at times do end up getting cold. A career at UNM, you finished first in career rebounding, and one thing that you carried into the NBA, you actually led the Rockets your rookie season. What was it in your time in New Mexico that really brought you to that elite rebounder kind of status?
I was always a pretty good rebounder, even here at in high school at Albuquerque High, and then it just transformed over into UNM. And once I got to the NBA, I had to figure out ways to be able to stay on the court because you're playing against the best in the world.
I think the biggest thing had to be the Sun Devils bouncing back from that loss against Oregon. The Sun Devils were able to step up against the Beavers and took the game all the way to double overtime before they pulled out that victory. Kiana Ibis had an amazing game, 28 points, a season high for her, and was absolutely dominant in the overtime period. And that was some of the great points out of that victory over the Beavers. Currently 5-4 in Pac-12 play. Not the greatest weekend, especially after that sweep to Arizona, and they really need to pull at least 1 or 2 wins against the top team in the nation. UCLA currently 32-1, 6-0 in Pac-12 play, perfect start, and has absolutely obliterated their opponents this season. Their number 1 pitcher, Rachel Garcia, a .54 ERA this season, 14-0, and exactly what ASU is not looking forward to going against. Last week marked not only the return of Major League Baseball, but the second half of the NBA season. And there might not be anyone hotter in the league right now than former Sun Devil and current Houston Rockets guard James Harden. Although the 2009 ASU grad had his 32-game streak of 30-plus point games broken Monday against the Atlanta Hawks, the Rockets have now won 10 of their last 14 games. The Beard is averaging a career best 36.6 points per game and is under early consideration to take home a second consecutive MVP trophy. Should he take home the award, he would be the 14th player in NBA history to win multiple MVP awards.